Yeah, I mean, I think we try to be patient to a certain extent, and this is July 10th. And some of these kids are so nervous to come in here, and then you have players that have done this before and have played in the NHL before and have played in the minors with the rain. So patience is a big word we use, but I think we think that there's certain players that stick out no matter when you're playing, what time of year. So.
Just to take the other half of that question, how much of an opportunity is there for some of the invitees to make a name for themselves?
Oh, there always is. I think there's a few players that that stuck out. They've had other teams probably call them, but they picked us to come here for these 4 days, and we're lucky that our scouts do a great job in convincing them that we actually have a pretty good development staff. And they want to work with them, not just, we want to improve their game on the ice, off the ice, fundamentals. It's not about systems these 4 or 5 days. It's all about, helping them with their fundamentals.
And Pinelli and LaFerriere, they showed some good chemistry out there today. But not just today, but how would you characterize how each of them have not only developed over this camp of 4 days, but just in general for the last year or so?
Well, I think, I just talked to Frankie there just now, and the level from the last development camp to this is he started here, which is, he's 18. He's here, and he's making his way this way. He is, sometimes it takes a few years to them understand how hard it is to be a pro, and the off-season workouts should be harder than when you come in here to play. And I think he's really taken that to heart. Not that he didn't do it before, and not that he didn't work out before, but now he really gets it. That, wow, this is big. The off-ice part of it is very big. He's young, and Alex same way. I know. He's finished college now. He came here at the end of the year with us with the rain and played 3 games, and he was pretty impressive. And I think he understands now that, okay, I got to really push myself off the ice during the off season if I want to keep up with the Kopitars and those guys. So, they've had a great 4 or 5 days. A lot of the summer left until rookie camp, but we're looking forward to getting those guys back here.
Well, this could be a tricky week to evaluate the goaltenders. It was our first chance to see Eric Portillo on the ice. I wonder what your impressions were from him over the course of the week.
You want me to lie or tell you the truth? I have no idea about goalies. If they stop the puck, they're good. If they don't, they're no good. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to ask our goalie guys that one. I think, but Portillo's a big guy. I think I think all of the goalies that were here this week. It's hard because they're getting pucks fired at them left and right when we do the sessions in the morning and then the games, and no one's really playing defense. But I thought they were all, from what I saw, they did a good job. And I think Portillo, and especially that you're mentioning him, he's a competitive guy. I watched closely a few times, and he doesn't give up on the 2-on-1s or the one-on, the forwards get the fire pucks, but he's a competitive guy. So it's a good trait to have.
Was there anybody who stood out to you among the first-time participants, especially with the 5 2023 picks you had coming in? And then kind of outside of that, you talked a little bit about Frankie as far as returners, guys that stood out to you as having improved a lot year over year.
Yeah, I think Frankie obviously, and Alex, and I think Chromiak. I really like. We love Chromiak, and I think he was really, he had a really good camp, and for the first-year draft picks, the Dvorak kid is a big left shot D that very calm for a young guy, and the other picks were. I thought they all really did it. It's hard. It's hard to come in here, like I've said before. It's hard to come in and you're nervous and you haven't been to LA before, and this is you see Drew Doughty walking around the locker room and stuff like that. It's they get a little nervous, but once they get that out of their system and they know that they're here for a reason, and they're either drafted or invited for a reason, it gets a little bit better. And it's too bad it's only 4 to 5 days, but I think it was overall a very good camp, and you guys saw today that they worked.
Chromiak got that 4 year in the EA last year. see where he can continue to grow his game and go forward?
Yeah, I think he's just having a good, better engine. I call it an engine, like off ice, I guess you could say. And he was young. He's a young guy last year, and I don't think we say this all the time, and certain players don't understand. The American League's hard. The American League's very hard. There's older guys there, and they're battling for their jobs, and they're not going to give it to you. And he found out fairly quickly. He had a good about 6 weeks last year where he scored all those goals. But it's hard. It's a long season. It's you're on the bus. You're practicing every day. You're used to someone taking care of you, and now you're here. You're a pro hockey player, and you have to get your meals, and you have to do your laundry, and you have to put gas in your car, whatever it may be. And I think sometimes it takes a little time, but I think he's going the right direction.
First, we caught up Celine out here in LA. He stood out at times, especially with skating. What did you make of his camp overall?
Yeah, I think he's good. I saw him last year in Finland, and he was hurt actually, but I think this is the first time in North America. He's a confident kid. Another right shot. He's got a great awareness of everything that's going on in the ice. Like I said, we don't really grade them on their defensive stuff here because it's wide open. But we really like where he's at. I mean, he's got a few years, and we're going to make sure we keep our eyes on him this year in Finland.
When you look at preparing, knowing that you have limited time to work with these guys for 4 or 5 days, will you say what you guys were able to accomplish in those 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, I think so. I think the forwards we're working with Jared and Mike, and then the D with Odie and Greeny, and you don't want to give them too much in 4 or 5 days. So you try to work on, we have a program that we kind of go through and that we want to make sure that they understand, the importance of these 4 different things that we're working on this week. It could be wall play, it could be whatever we talk about. And I think they get the grasp of, because we're actually walking you through this. You have to be able to do this play or these plays to be on the bench for the LA Kings eventually.
Looking at Brent Clark this week, Odie on day 1 said he didn't have a great scrimmage. It seemed like he wasn't maybe blowing everyone away in the first couple days, but then he comes out here today and really stands out. Is that just an example of him being a gamer, like everyone says?
Yeah, I think so. I think in how the way his brain works is it's the last game of the for the development camp, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna be the best player out here, and you could see it, the plays he makes, and he wants the puck, and that's Clarkie. That's Clarkie. I think he was trying to be a forward more than he was being a D today, but we'll let him off the hook today.
In terms of his development, a lot of times on offensive defensemen, you're trying to get steadiness out of them, reliability, maybe reining the game a little bit. But I imagine in his case, it's more teaching him when to take risks and that sort of thing. I mean, how are you balancing that in his development, getting him to make the steady and safe play, but also keeping that creativity in his game, I guess?
Yeah, you don't want to ever take that away, because he's got a special, as everyone in here knows, special talent, and it's great because you have to create offense. And I think for our development staff, he doesn't get enough credit for he's good defensively. I really believe that. I think because everyone always sees the offensive part and the instincts that he has. But I don't know if he gets enough credit for his defensive play. If you talk to, obviously you guys talked to Odie and Greeny, and we're not the coaches. I get the coaches will see something different, but I truly believe that he's better than anyone that everyone thinks about, because they always think about the offense and how he makes those plays, but I think he's good defensively too.
He's talked a lot this week about wanting to be physically stronger and the fact that he's been a late bloomer physically his whole life. Just where do you think he's at there, and how do you evaluate someone who maybe is a late bloomer physically?
Yeah, I think you kind of notice it in them. I mean, there's a few players. I mean, I'm shrinking, so these other players are growing. I'm shrinking, but you can just tell by, like, him and I are about the same height, kind of same size, 6'2", maybe 6'3". He's almost 6'3", but just the maturity, like his body is becoming a man, because he's actually, I go back to the off-ice training in the off-season, he is too. He's understanding the importance of it. Maybe he used to work out 3 days a week in the off-season, but now he's probably doing 5 or 6. The importance of every day and doing that training. When the season starts in September, October, for those types of players, it's easy. The hard part is the off-season.
How much longer can you keep Kenny Connors under wraps as kind of an underrated prospect?
No, I think not for very long. I know he's going back to school next year, and we really like him. He's turned into a man already. Like, you can tell that he goes to a good school, has good off ice workouts, strong. But we're looking forward to getting him eventually for sure.
Yeah, if you look at, I mean, just one level of player development here, you get the new kids that come in, maybe a guy that's kind of maybe gone a little bit beyond you guys, how much are you involved with, let's say, development of a guy like Kaliev, who's still looking to kind of solidify his spot?
Yeah, no, for sure. We really we work with the head coaches. We'll work with Todd and Jans and DJ and Jimmy Hill. We'll make sure that we're all on the same page, and we have Jared here during the off season in the summer, and when Artie comes back here, he'll make sure that we give those reminders, wall play, especially with Artie as a winger. Just reminding them the importance of making sure that you understand when the puck comes around the wall that you have to be able to make that play, you have to be able to get it out. Neutral zone, same thing. Offensive zone, it's not just the defensive zone. So we really work closely with the head coaches of the Kings, and we're all on the same page.
I want to get your thoughts on Ryan Conmey. Obviously, a couple goals in the scrimmage today, and he was a guy who really rose up from like the mid-season rankings to the final rankings. Just do you guys see him as somebody who maybe a guy who grows in his draft year but has a lot more runway?
Yeah, for sure. I think that is him to a T. Like, from what I saw, I didn't see him play last year, but coming in here these last 4 days, just kind of goes through that scoring area, and it's either going to hit him or it's going to land on a stick and go in the net. So that's what we love, and he goes to those hard areas. He has, obviously I haven't seen him play, but we're going to keep our close tabs on him this year, and make sure that he understands that all this stuff, reminders of development camp and what they worked on, and just reminders that these things we watch. We're not like, even though you leave here, we're still keeping our close eye on you guys.
You've got a wide spread of players, whether it's height, you've got guys like Glen, you've got guys like Steven Teibel. Experience levels are different, age levels are different. You're talking about the fundamentals and what they need to learn. Is there any kind of grading curve based on who the players are, what you want them to?
Yeah, I think we kind of try to we show them how to do it, and then we won't critique them until we watch them kind of do certain things. And if we think they grab it pretty quickly, then they graduate to the next level of whatever that skill may be. And we have a whole list of different things that we work on for forwards and for D, and we kind of baby step it from the minimal thing, and then we kind of work our way up to making whatever the next thing that we're working on to the high level, to be in like a play that during game 25 of the season that you have to make, still have to make during the season.
You mentioned keeping tabs and keeping an eye on players, but they obviously go back to their own teams, their own coaching staff. They're going to work with them. How much hands-on do you have with their development after they leave and go back to their team?
No, that's a great question, because I think someone was asking me that today, and it all depends on what team. We had a few guest coaches in here this year, and Jamson's head coach was here. Open door from him. Absolutely open door. If Jared or Mike want to go into Helsinki or Finland to work with him, doors are wide open. Just, we can go on the ice with them, whatever it may be. I think it all depends. And the college, some NCAAs are tricky, depending on their schedules and depending on where they're at, and we understand that. We don't push the envelope, but we haven't really had a lot of teams say no, that we can come in and, we really have to look at the schedule. The problem with that is sometimes they go on a losing streak and we're scheduled to come in, and coaches are a little bit loony when they go on a losing streak, and they don't want to see one of us coming in to work with their players, of their drafted players. So we have to, it's a juggling act.